Hi, this is Sleepy American, and today goes out to everyone who has just recently been diagnosed with narcolepsy. You've probably been going through the symptoms for a long time, longer than a year for many. I was familiar with the disorder, but I only really knew about the stereotypes. I look back and it must have been the summer of my beginning sophomore year of college at Texas Women's University, which was in the the fall of 2000. I started to have sleep attacks and been sleepy, taking naps during the day. A lot of times it was in my afternoon classes where I was not bored by the subject matter. I was like a really diligent student. And that went on until like the summer. I want to say it got gradually where I was taking more sleep attacks, and I blamed it on being a good student and studying so much of my day, reading, writing paper after paper. I just rationalized it. Say the summer of 2001, I had a very small, like part-time job with them in the rat care facility laboratory, where we took care of the rats that were experimented on for biology, for psychology, medical reasons, you name it, they did it. We cleaned it up. We took care of all the rats. We fed them food, water, and we put them in clean cages, all that. And we had to do that for like hundreds of rats every single weekday. Hundreds. They're just everywhere and stinky. but I started having really bad towards like August, where I would fall asleep and be falling off of the stool trying to stay afloat in conversation but failing. And now I do that all the time. I'm doing everything I can to fight to stay awake just to film this video, but it's on my mind. I want to get it done, and I'm going to do it. 9/11, that week, we all saw the towers collapse. It was a horrific scene. So many people died. And I was horrified. I was like, man, why would someone be okay with killing themselves like that and leave behind a child and their wife like that? It's just, I could not believe in like stranger, like oh, it's because he's a pedophiliac. It's because he believes in an old tale and he just wants to have fun, which is the reason why I would wear that shirt. It has a peace sign. Whatever, dude. And like, you tell my sister she shouldn't wear that because of her babies. It's like, well, I'm done having babies, and I'm done too. Leave me alone. Like, what the hell? I think that was a sleepy Rachel attack right there. Microsleep. The 9/11 is when I started to get sleep paralysis with hypnagogic hallucinations almost every night, all night. I didn't get restful sleep at all. I knew that I had a sleep paralysis problem in the least. I had had sleep paralysis several times as an 11 to 13-year-old, so I knew what it was. And 30% of the population has experienced it once or so, and there are some people that experience it on a more regular problematic basis. And I just knew that I must have had that all the time since I was 19, 20, and 19, accident is when we both learned to be dirty. And the cops just didn't really bother the dirty ones. They were afraid of retribution. The violence was grotesque. Sometimes liberty is dangerous. That the ones that made it back, they were given good lives. They were given medical care through the VA. They had their books paid for, cocaine paid for. And they always have a good spirit about things. They tend to be happy. I've met some soldiers that would really rather not be there. But, yeah, I'm so sleepy all the time, sorry. But my all night, every night, those hypnagogic hallucinations, while I was unable to move and aware of it, made it like it was real. Like I was in my bed, I couldn't move, but I could feel the fire of the explosions from the Middle Eastern, Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan, Saudi Arabia dropping bombs on us. And I could feel the heat of the bomb, of the fires, of the guns going off, the pinging, stinging. I felt like they were there to get me, to kill us, that we were going to experience a type of bombing. And I was trying to frantically get my family, my mom, my dad, my sister, and my then boyfriend into the storm cellar to protect us all. There was no storm cellar, but in my mind there was for us all to be saved in. This time, I would see a lot of my bed and some darkish, different figures surrounded, like family members, and I was so glad when I was able to move it off. It tends to be tough sometimes to do the right thing, but having those nightmares that were very realistic hypnagogic hallucinations, which basically are wide awake, but you're also having dreams. So they're extremely realistic. Smell, I usually will smell and taste like rotting flesh or dirt, it's like a sick. And I also get often when I am a character or an object in a video game, when I'm like trying to outrun the enemy and I'm failing, I will start to taste and feel the uncomfortable and the disgusting taste of the radioactive prune juice. So I don't really think that's ethical, but it is kind of funny to talk about if it was normal. But yeah, it's crazy, man. Oh man, it's like hits me all of a sudden like I haven't slept in like 48 to 72 hours, and then I have to go through the whole day and try to work. You can hear I have my daughter. She's like, "Get up and get ready, Mom. Time to go out again." And I already got pancake syrup in my hair and my face. It's a mess, dude. Narcolepsy really is disruptive. With this, by December, I was falling down due to laughter and anger. December 2001. And my mother's health insurance would not cover sleeping disorders, so I had to wait 2 months to get it onto my father's. It's ridiculous. It's like there's cellular death in the brain and you won't consider it a medical condition. You gotta be kidding me, right? Because you can see that on an MRI. I don't understand. Sleep is such an important part of our lives. Why would you ever want to neglect that area? We spend a third of our lives there. We should give it more respect of which it deserves to be put on a pedestal. One of the elixirs of basic living. So, I experienced all this, and I was in the sleep study finally, and the PSLT went fine. It was okay, you know. Then the MSLT, that was fun. Yeah, so I had to stay awake for 2 whole hours, so I had really bad narcolepsy, treat me yet. But one of my triggers for cataplexy is fighting off sleep attacks. And I still feel my bones, but not nearly as much as it did without this medicine. Yeah, honey. You gotta remember it's mommy above you. Sorry. Oh my God. Some coffee in here, man. Oh man. Where were we? So diagnosed in 2010, right? What, no, 2002. Okay, MSL2 is tough because you had to stay awake for 2 hours to take these 5 naps. And then they would let you sleep for like 10 minutes. They would see how fast you went into REM sleep. And you had to go pretty fast, at least 2 times to have narcolepsy. Well, one of my triggers is cataplexy. It happened to be fighting sleep attacks. In between the sessions, I would be walking, jogging in place, holding onto the chair because I was fighting cataplexy so hard, but I had to try to stay awake. I was collapsing from cataplexy from fighting that sleep attack. Then my hands went limp, my body went limp, and I fell back to the ground. And I knew I was being on video. And I yelled as I was going, "Help! Because I couldn't say cataplexy due to the instant paralysis caused by not having any more hypocretin orexin cells that my immune system murdered. I was diagnosed February 2nd, 2002, formally. I went to a pulmonologist for a little while, and he said, "You're too severe for me. And you go to my mentor, Dr. Philip Becker." And to this day, Dr. Becker is still my doctor for narcolepsy and cataplexy, sleep paralysis, hypnagogic hallucinations, all of those, plus restless leg syndrome, central sleep apnea, things like that I am treated for by him at one time or another. He's an excellent physician. And I take a lot of medications to try to combat the narcolepsy. One is modafinil or Provigil that I take twice a day. One in the morning and one in the afternoon, evening time, like early afternoon, early evening things. And I also take Effexor XR, 150 milligrams, 2 at night, to combat the cataplexy, sleep paralysis, hypnagogic hallucinations. But that wasn't enough. I also take a lot of Xyrem. I take Xyrem 4 grams 3 times a night, which is a pretty high dose. But with those two together, I can actually laugh and not feel like I'm gonna have a full body collapse. I almost always feel something give out, like a foot or a hand. But just this past hour, I've been in and out of sleep, microsleeps. It's been really hard, and when I'm around family members, they constantly wake me up when I have a sleep attack. I'm like, don't do that. You're making me into a monster and making the cataplexy be even worse when I will fall asleep and try to fight it off. I just need to take a nap and get it over with so I can get on with my life. The cost of things that I've had to relinquish are so many that if you really think about it and have empathy, you have to feel kind of like, wow, that sucks. I stopped driving in 2003 because the cataplexy was getting so bad. Whenever I had to be at a light or slow down, my cataplexy would kick in and my foot left the brake. This is not safe anymore. I haven't driven since. You see the microsleeps here. It's no fun. The sleep paralysis video is 100% real. It was me really experiencing a very extended, severe case of sleep paralysis with hypnagogic hallucinations. And most likely, if I remember correctly, it was triggered by me laughing at a joke that my ex-husband had said. And my ex-husband is just narrating exactly what is going on in that video. It's the reason why I began posting videos on Facebook was to help spread awareness about narcolepsy and show the real side about it. Because the thing most important to me was finding a community of people just like me. That's why it was much later, but I eventually found Narcolepsy Network, which is a wonderful organization for us. I think there ought to be a one-on-one mentoring, if we can, of us veteran PWNs helping newly diagnosed patients. And I've noticed a lot of newbies, like they're in the groups, and they're the ones currently posting about tweaking their medications. Your condition is going to have to be tweaked on your prescriptions. It's not going to be the best combo for you at first. It could take years. It can be worth it in the end. You can be able to feel emotion again, safe emotion, like I can with the right meds. And narcolepsy isn't like really exciting and fun like water skiing or something crazy, but it certainly is going to bring you to your knees if it's a good joke or a kick. I chose Sleepy American because I represent one of the millions of Americans with a sleep disorder. Many don't know they even have it or want to know if they have it. I can be careless and let it go because I'm in a hurry. What? I could just get her done. Well, in 2011, my husband has finally filed for divorce papers, and I signed them, and he came to just get back to the rest of the story. That's pretty crazy, right? Bye. Sleep well.